sell your house. Welcome to the Home Downsizing Show. My name is Ben Souchek, your host and the owner and founder of Home Downsizing Solutions. With the Home Downsizing Show, I want to provide you the information and resources to make the downsizing of your house stress and hassle-free. So sit back and enjoy the show. Thank you for joining us. Hello, and thank you for joining me today on this episode of the Home Downsizing Show podcast. I'm Ben Souchek, the owner and founder of Home Downsizing Solutions and the author of Home Downsizing Secrets. Today, on probably a short episode of the Home Downsizing Show, I just kind of wanted to give a quick update on the current real estate market and some of the information that I've been seeing in the news, I guess these days you might say, in regards to companies, large public companies that were home buyers or what were considered iBuyers that had really sprung up in the last few years. Companies such as Open Door and even Redfin, which is also an online brokerage. Open Door saw a article this past week about, I believe they are shutting down their iBuyer activity, or certainly curtailing it if they're not stopping it entirely. One of the articles that I read recently in the Wall Street Journal stated that they had a large loss. It says the company posted a net loss of $928 million for the current quarter, compared to a $57 million loss during the same quarter a year ago. And so they had anticipated a slowdown in the market, the article states, but the changes, mainly driven because of interest rates, had happened faster than what they or others had expected. And so they have decreased the home purchase volume. The article states that I guess they are still buying, but they have decreased their activity greatly. In a previous article in the last several months, Zillow had stopped their home buying activity, their iBuyer activity, which they were involved in. The other company, an online brokerage, Redfin, stated that they have also stopped their home flipping business, an article states, and that they had lost too much money on buying and selling houses, so that they were now getting out of that business at this point. The other activity that is being, I think, curtailed, again, because of interest rates going from less than 12 months ago, about 3% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, or just below 3%, is now approaching 8%. And the Federal Reserve in the past week or so have just increased interest rates again by 0.75%. And they have indicated they intend to raise rates over the next several months, at least another full point, if not higher than that. So current mortgage rates are already, depending on where you look, between 7 and 8%. And if the Federal Reserve increases rates another full point, that is certainly going to increase them even more. And so even though, because of the demand and from retail home buyers, regular home buyers, and the low amount of homes that are coming on the market, it is still an okay market. It is certainly not the market what it was 3 to 6, 9, 12 months ago, but it still isn't a terrible market yet. But again, I think things are going to get worse because interest rates are going to keep going up. The affordability of houses is going down at this point, and so I think we're going to start seeing more difficulty in the market if you are looking to sell at this point. The other type of buyer that I believe I've spoke about before on the podcast to be careful of is what are known as wholesalers. And wholesalers are typically, they will tell you that they'll buy your house. Their advertisements, their websites, all their marketing will say that they buy houses for cash. But in reality, a wholesaler, once they have a contract to buy a house, they essentially are just tying up a property for 21, 30 or more days to see if they can find a real buyer that can actually close on their contract. And they act as a middleman to make something in the middle, which if they're transparent with the seller, that's one thing, but it seems like a lot of time the wholesalers are not necessarily fully transparent with the seller as to what they are doing with the property. And the biggest thing is when the market is going up, the wholesaler can promise that they will pay a certain price for a house. And even in good times, the expectations would be that they could close maybe 6 or 7 out of 10 agreements that they had. That was just their way of doing business, that they would plan on not closing all of them. It was a numbers game, and it is a numbers game to them. However, with the market the way it is, and going forward, it's my opinion that it's going to be much more difficult for them to find real buyers that can actually close on their contracts, especially if they've overpromised them based on comparables to houses that have sold in the last 12 months, which may not be good comparables going forward here in the next 12 months. So my caution is if you want to sell and are planning to sell your house and are looking at a home buying company that can buy your house for cash, make sure that you're dealing with a real, legitimate home buying company, not a wholesaler that says they can buy your house but has no ability or intent to do so. And my office, I have a publication to help identify what a wholesaler is and how to avoid being taken advantage of by them. So at the end of the podcast here, I will give you our phone number so you can contact our office if you would like a copy of that. Just let us know, and I'd be happy to get that to you. So be careful of who, if you do want to sell your house, just know it's not going to be the same as it was 3, 6, 12 months ago or so. And if you knew of someone that sold their house in your neighborhood this past spring, just know that it's a very different market right now than what it was this past spring. So if you thought your neighbor received a certain dollar amount for their house and you think your house is equivalent or even better, still know that the buyers just are not jumping and overpaying for houses like they were earlier this year. And if you would like to see what your house is worth, if you're concerned with or interested in selling your house, you can certainly contact us, or if you have a reputable agent that you worked with before, and we can certainly provide guidance on finding a good agents too. We work with traditional agents all the time. So just to wrap this up, again, I just wanted to give a quick market overview of what is happening in the market, the fact that the large publicly funded iBuyers are either going out of business or have stopped buying houses for cash, or are reducing their buying a lot, that wholesalers, be careful of who you're contacting and working with if you want to sell a house. Having said that, if you are interested in selling a house and are looking for a legitimate cash home buying company, certainly give us a call at Home Downsizing Solutions. Go to homedownsizing-solutions.com or call our office toll-free 855-291-5005. Or if you'd like a free copy of Home Downsizing Secrets, my book, just go to homedownsizing-secrets.com, or again, you can call our office toll-free 855-291-5005. If you are looking to sell your house and move to senior living or a smaller home, and we can be of any assistance, just let us know. And thank you again for listening to this episode of the Home Downsizing Show. Have a great week. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Home Downsizing Show. For additional information and resources on home downsizing, just go to homedownsizing-blueprint.com. That's homedownsizing-blueprint.com. Or if you're ready to sell your house and downsize, just go to homedownsizing-solutions.com. That's homedownsizing-solutions.com. And if you have ideas to improve our show, or topics that you'd like us to cover, or have any questions that we can answer, just call our office toll-free 855-291-5005. That's 855-291-5005. Thank you.